Hey, this is Aaron with BSTracker. I'm going to run this video by Vaush about the Trump student visa situation through AI to check for bias, emotional manipulation, and exaggeration. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. We're going to jump right into it with a neutral explanation of the issue. In May 2025, the U.S. State Department temporarily paused scheduling new student and exchange visitor visa interviews at its embassies and consulates abroad. This pause does not affect individuals who had already scheduled interviews. The reason given is to prepare for the implementation of expanded social media screening and vetting procedures for foreign student visa applicants. This comes among broader policy shifts that include revoking visas of students allegedly involved in unlawful protests and increased scrutiny of institutions like Harvard over political disputes. The arguments in favor of the policy from the U.S. government and supporters cite the national security and screening integrity. Social media vetting can help identify applicants with ties to extremist groups or those intending to violate visa terms. Temporary pause allows the government to update vetting protocols to ensure better consistency and oversight. Preventing abuse of student visas. Student visas have been used in the past as a path for individuals who later violated U.S. laws or overstayed. Enhanced scrutiny could reduce the risk of fraud or misuse, particularly in a tense global environment. Government oversight and compliance. The administration may be responding to concerns about campus protests escalating into security threats. Review of institutions like Harvard ties into broader efforts to ensure federal funds aren't being misused or politicized. Arguments against the policy, the critics, academic, and civil rights advocates. Chilling effect on international students. The pause could discourage qualified international applicants from even considering U.S. schools. Visa uncertainty can harm research institutions and weaken academic collaboration. Privacy and free expression concerns. Expanded social media screening may invade privacy or punish individuals for political views. Critics argue this approach risks targeting lawful expression or dissent under the guise of vetting. Potential brain drain. U.S. universities rely heavily on international talent, especially in STEM fields. The policy could drive students and researchers towards other countries like Canada, the EU, or China, which are increasing funding for global researchers. That being said, we'll move into Vaush's argument on the matter. For bias in framing, he gets a 2 out of 10 score. Frames the policy as authoritarian without exploring national security justifications. He uses emotionally loaded framing, tin pot dictatorship, death cult, national suicide. He ignores the administration's stated reasoning or procedural standards behind the visa pause. Emotional manipulation, the score was a 1 out of 10. Heavy reliance on catastrophizing language like Khmer Rouge levels, sinking ship, end times. Describes policies as part of a chaos cult that equates RFK's actions with fascism and insanity. Uses sarcasm and dread to stoke fear. For example, they're going to come for me. Omission of Key Context scores a 3 out of 10. It lacks discussion of how long the visa suspension is expected to last. No reference to prior vetting measures or global norms for student visa background checks. It omits how many countries already use social media monitoring as part of a visa processing. Misleading or leading questions was scored 2 out of 10. Frames rhetorical questions to imply nefarious intent. Why would anyone want a U.S. student visa? Suggests imminent collapse of U.S. science without concrete evidence or timeline. Intentional dishonesty is given a 3 out of 10, implies policy is equal to spying for wrongthink, with no sourcing to support that extreme interpretation. References RFK Jr.'s proposed journal policy as if it's active law or policy, which is not. Speculates heavily about motives and outcomes without distinguishing opinion from fact. Rhetorical integrity was given a 3 out of 10. Blends satire, hyperbole, and serious analysis, making it difficult for the audience to discern fact from parody. leans on emotional venting rather than structured argument or direct citations. Source transparency was given a 4 out of 10. Briefly cites Associated Press, BBC, and Nature Index, but doesn't link or quote directly. Much of the material is presented through paraphrase without clear attribution. Use of evidence was given a 4 out of 10. Some valid metrics on China's research institutions and spending. Nature Index, Chinese R&D stats. Fails to distinguish between speculative interpretation and verifiable claims. Selective use of data to bolster alarmist tone. The strawman risk was a 2 out of 10. Depicts U.S. policy as fully collapsing into fascist anti-science dictatorship with no credible opposition or nuance. Exaggerates RFK Jr.'s position into extreme caricatures. For example, glasses are demonic joke, weakening serious critique. Terminology exaggeration was given a score of 1 out of 10. Uses terms like death cult, fascism, brain drain, and end times liberally and hyperbolically. Compares policies to Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot, historically extreme analogies with no real parallel. The argument honesty rating was a 2.5 out of 10. The summary, the commentary is emotionally charged, hyperbolic, and heavily biased. While it raises concerns about visa restrictions and the academic climate, it undermines credibility by resorting to extreme metaphors, conspiratorial language, and unsupported assumptions. I try to remain neutral on these topics. If you have anything to add, please let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you guys think about them. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll keep making more of this content. Have a good one.